Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So before I start just showing you the demonstration, I would like to talk a bit about the application itself, the platform, like the architecture of Capture Pro. So as we mentioned in the first session with George, so it is ideal and mainly used for centralized archiving, centralized scanning. So it's the architecture itself is a Windows application. So we specifically it is designed to be a robust application and a fast that can cope with the high-speed scanner with all the production scanning that will happen. So as an application, it is first available online to be downloaded from our website. It is at the beginning, you'll get a 30 days trial, but definitely for our partners, you'll get a long demo license to be used and provided by us. So it's like we extend the license for you. And the first installation of the application, what needs to be done is connect to the scanner to first validate the license, to make sure that the existing license is compatible with what or the existing scanner is compatible with the license purchase. Um, but for trial and demo licenses, it is available and open for all scanners. No limitation or it doesn't really rely on the licensing in this case. You will probably talk about, we'll definitely talk about the licensing structure in this session, I guess, with George. So for now, let me show you the interface of Capture Pro. So when we first launch Capture Pro, as I said, it will ask us to connect to the scanner related. So just as an information, it asks you to connect and it will show this screen for you to select the scanner and get validated. An important point we mentioned also in the first session that we have like two interfaces that we can start with Capture Pro. So the first one is this interface that has like the menu, the full features you see. We'll talk about the shortcuts in the header. Plus, we have this quick start that we can enable to automatically show for the user when the application is launched. So this is, well, definitely this is a bit scary because I have a lot of job setups. But in production case, it will definitely be less than that. So it will be more clear and visible for the users. So from here, I choose the job setup that I want to start with, and it will automatically start the scanning in this case. And also a very important point here, this quick start or even the launching of the application can be done straight from Kodak Alaris scanner by configuring the profiles that we have on the scanners to automatically launch Capture Pro and starting the scan. So from the scanner, I can select, let's say, the insurance claim job profile from the scanner and click start. It will automatically launch Capture Pro, or if it's already launched, it will start the scanning automatically from the scanner. So this is an important and like also a unique selling point with the application. Uh, So what I took as an example for this demo is the insurance claims, as you see. Let me show you, let's say here we can decide how many number of images to display in the image viewer. So as you see, we have like on the left a structure or the batch explorer that shows us the structure of the documents and the pages in the documents. This structure is based on the separation rule that we have defined for this job. So in this case, or let me tell you what we have as separation rules. We have the barcode separation, which is very common. We have also like blank page separation and the patch code or patch sheet separation. And definitely like the number of pages we can define and OCR separation, which is also important, and you won't find it a lot in other applications. So this is by just choosing, let's say, defining the title as a zone. If the name in the title is, let's say, invoice, do the separation. In this case, it's not going to be like a classification because in Capture Pro, it's like I can process one document or one type at a time. So I can just use it for separation, but I cannot like have multiple document types in the same batch. I can have them multiple batches, but not multiple documents. So for the patch code or patch sheet, as you see in this example, we have the patch sheet, the patch code pattern in the header of the page. Let me just do something here and I'll explain it later, so it will be a bit clearer for you. So this is the page that I have under this document, and this is page 2. So what we have in the first page is this sheet. So the patch code, it's a pattern. It's something like a barcode, but doesn't have a value in the barcode to extract and use. It's just an identification of a certain document or a start of a document. So sorry, I noticed that we didn't start the recording. Let me, or we did. Okay, sorry. All right. So this pattern is just to identify that we have a type or the start of a document to do the separation. And this is our form, the first form that we are doing the extraction from. What I just did is hide the black and white, this option here and here. Why do we have black and white in this same batch? Because we use the dual stream mode that we have from the scanner driver and Capture Pro itself. So it's like a common feature or like some kind of feature that reads from this feature that you have in the driver of the scanner. So it takes both versions from the scanner, which can be color and black and white, or can be grayscale and black and white. So the black and white we use for better accuracy and extraction, and the color to retain the form, to use it when we deliver to the other system. So, and in this case, we didn't just do the color, we didn't just do the black and white, we also use the color dropout from the scanner. Also, it's a feature from the scanner driver of the scanner that will remove a certain color from the page. This to enhance the accuracy, to have a better, clearer view of the values. So this is when we have the option to give recommendation on the design of the form, so that we have a higher accuracy in extraction. Definitely, in some cases, the forms are already defined. There's no turning back. There's no way to change that. But whenever we have the chance to design or redesign a certain form, we give these suggestions to the customer. And definitely here we have the, after we define the first page to extract from, we see on the right side the values that we have extracted from this form, and we see them in more detail. If we go, like I clicked on edit index field, we go to the index section where we can validate, we can fix the some values that we have in the index field. And I want to note here that we have some kind of validation, or we can add validation on the format of the index field. So for example, in this field, we said that the maximum that, or the exact number of characters in this field has to be 10. So if there's any more than 10, I can see that it won't allow me to continue. There's an error message telling me that this is an invalid format, and you need to fix that to accommodate the format that we have defined. So technically, it should be only 10 character, and so on. So here we, if we have anything missing, like this, we left it on purpose empty to show you how we can use these shortcuts over here, like a zonal, or we call it drag and drop OCR, to draw a zone around the line or the values that we want to extract, and it brings the value automatically in this field. So we can go to the next document, validate, next, until we're done. We either like save and exit or click next, and they will be validated. So in the header, you notice that we have some shortcuts, some buttons that we use. This is very important here because this will be very user-friendly for the operator to use. So, and this is also customizable, like you can move these toolbars or add more, whatever we have as options. But the main functions that the operator needs are these. Like here we have new batch to create, opening batch, closing the batch, and exporting or outputting the batch. And the rest is, this is what I use is to edit the index fields, cropping, and more these functions that you use on the page itself. Any questions at this level, or anything not clear, or would you like me to talk more about?
Does it also have a full page OCR feature, and what would that look like once it's scanned in?
Yes, this option is available in Capture Pro with no limited page count, and it's free of charge within the license itself. It's on the output level. So whenever we, so you can see it in the settings or the configuration of the job setup, where you configure the output of this batch whenever you output to be a searchable PDF, and here you define the languages, sorry, the primary language that this form is based on, so that it converts it into this language. And yeah, as a note here in the output, first I can export into two different destinations. So we have the file 1 and file 2. This is two options. So probably you want to, the first one, send it, save it, or export it as searchable PDF, but the other one you want to keep it as a TIFF file, save it somewhere separate. Plus, you can separate the black and white and the color, as you see, each one in completely different locations, or combine them all in the first option over here. And the index is where we send the metadata. So as you see, for every document on the right, we have the metadata that we extracted. So the options to send them, to export them, can be any of these options over here, can be an XML, a CSV, which is the text delimited, or sending directly to a database, which will integrate, let's say, into the database of the customer's system. Plus, definitely we have destinations like SharePoint or other systems where you can see the full list. Actually, if I click on system here, I see some of these connectors available directly in Capture Pro, or if I want the full list, I click on more output destinations, and it will redirect me to the page that we have on our website, and I can choose the connector that I need, download it, and install it in Capture Pro, and then it will be available to integrate with that specific. So taking some time, but yes, this is the page where it has all the available connectors to be downloaded. All right, so then the next step here would be, since let's say the operator verified the index, the values, the metadata, then this operator will choose to export this batch. So by clicking on this icon, and let me go back here, and then I can go to the destination. So in this case, we saved it in a folder. So the path is C, health claim, and from here we create a folder, a subfolder from the batch name itself. So this is the batch name. And over here, you see each document separate. It's still now exporting, as you see. It's creating the files. So each document is a multi PDF file. You will have all the pages, including both of them, color and black and white, because we kept the option all and not separate the black and white and color. So here you see the full pages under the document. Plus, you'll see the metadata as an XML. So here you'll have for every document one node in this XML that shows all the index fields one by one, and this is like configurable. We define what we want to add in this XML or what we want to remove. We have more details that we can add on the level of the document or pages. Let's say more details on the batch probably. So all can be added here as information for the document nodes. So any more questions at this level? All is clear?
No, it's all clear.
Okay,
All
perfect.
right.
Any use cases you want to ask about or inquire?
Not at this stage.
Perfect. Okay. Type before going back to the slides or to the presentation, from what you see so far, what do you think it is unclear, or what do you see it is let's say mainstream feature for KCP? Do you see any differentiator, or it's engine to engine when we compare to competition?
From what I've seen, looks a bit more user-friendly than some of the competition software that I've used.
Okay. Did we went through the simple interface?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Okay, perfect. Then let me share back my screen and I'll go back to the slides for that. Mainly the interface is something to consider as well. Next to the interface, you'll definitely see the performance when it comes to the scanning. That's another major thing that we need, or you will be able to experience more on the, let's say, correction, integration, writing on the database, everything related to that. You'll see the difference in performance. Again, going back to the sales talk track, KCP, we consider it as our muscle car for data extraction and document scanning. So the performance over here is really nice for that matter. As well, the full page OCR, I think I'm not sure if we have any extracted sample, but I assume you already know, or it's practically clear what would be the output, or would you like to see an output?
I think it'd be useful to see the output.
You would like to see the output. Okay, I'll just let Dalia to send me via Teams, just a PDF document, and I will show you what do we mean by a full text OCR. So do you want to share your screen or send me the?
I need to like, if it's the same example, I reconfigure it to have searchable PDF.
Okay,
I can
fine.
output and send it.
Okay, fine. So I'll wait for Dalia to send it to me. Meanwhile, let me just put, well, it's okay, I remember it. Just remind me in case it slipped from my mind. I'll show you what do you mean by full text OCR. Full text OCR is usually on the level of PDF-A searchable PDF. And once received, I'll directly show it to you either by the end of the slides or in between. Continuing, let me just recap on the main, let's say, key features of KCP that we were examining on our last call, and then I'll show you the additional 2 slides which are part of the customer presentation, where it will bring more clarity or more descriptive text on these features. So first of all, the automatic correction and validation of index fields, OCR, OMR by default, zoner or full page, which you will see right now once I receive the PDF. No click charge, unlimited volume for full text OCR or zoner, no click volume, it's open. And it will work with the speed of the scanner, whether it's a small scanner or it's a high volume scanner or production capture. It has the instant exception checking on the level of the image and as well on the level of the index field. Intelligent job select, which is something extremely important for companies or for scanning operators that are scanning different document types. So practically based on the separation or the classification rule that we put, whether on barcode, whether on OCR zone, if the text is different, we split. Practically, it will get to know that this is a different document type, and it will apply the correct job configuration. Advanced indexing and expert extraction. I believe over here we are talking about the same things of OCR and OMR, but as well keep in mind we can do database lookup and data enrichment. Handle paper more productively on the level of the speed over here, the main thing, but as well you will see again in the next slide an additional feature regarding the accuracy and regarding the how to handle paper and the image from the scanner. Simple to use, of course, you'll have the auto import, so not only from scanners, but as well from auto import. Simple to use with the simple user interface. So it has the 2 interfaces for the what we call the scanning cockpit, but as well for a normal business user to have it and to use it. ECM connectivity, SharePoint connectivity, secure FTPs output, we can configure it with the metadata that is needed, and it will connect as well to any third-party system, whether repository or database. That's not a problem. A third-party scanner, again, I need to mention it from a commercial perspective. We will be running a certain promotion. Usually to connect with third-party scanners, the license will be a little bit more expensive than to connect to Kodak Alaris. However, within 2023, we'll be discussing a promotion to bring the prices to the same level. Commercial side, I think I'll reach to it in the next slides. But yeah, again, I don't, I can discuss it in details with you, regardless if it has a slide or not. Okay. So let me, I'm just making sure everything is shared as full screen. I'll go to the second two slides that I told you about, which will provide whoever is presenting and the end customer more visibility and more text and literature on these features. We start with the intelligent job select. So you'll have for every feature that you see on the screen, what it does and what value does it bring to the end customer. So automates job switching and job configuration and profiles in large batches with reusable patch sheets. Patch sheets are the, let's call them the separators, whether they are patch code or barcode. You can use them as a separation. Over here, the value, it increased productivity. You don't need time to switch job configuration. You don't need to do preparation and put these document type in the scanner and then the other document type. You can just in the full batch preparation, shove everything in the scanner and it will do the remaining, especially in terms of flipping the job configuration and extracting the correct data from every document type. To shed more light, every document type might have different configuration. So I might be capturing index field from the top, from the bottom, depending on the document type. This is what we call job profile or job configuration. So based on the separator, the system on its own will shift based on that separator, and it will shift all the configuration at the speed of the scanner. Again, with the performance, it will shift, it will apply the new configuration, extract, and then whenever it sees the new patch code, it will revert back or continue with the same configuration, so on and so forth. A very unique and a very strong feature in KCP that we always, again, when we have a customer challenge that they are inquiring about the performance, we tell them, put us to the test, let's configure it together, let's see how it works, and we can add performance and accuracy for you in case needed. But always, always, always do not fear. This is a muscle engine. Do not fear to put it to the stress test and to extract, especially if the customer has two demo environments, KCP and a competition. Over there, you will definitely win by far. Intelligent exception processing, going to the next feature, checks documents for missing information, immediate data validation. So this is exception routing based on several business rules. Some of them are the OCR that it will be extracted, some of them based on the document type, some of them based on, for example, number of pages, or an OMR to check if there is a signature or initials on the bottom of the contract. It's a feature, depending on the use case, we can bring more value to the end customer, whether it is for invoices, contracts, onboarding, applications. Regardless, we can always make use of this feature to bring more value, to automate more the business process, and to add more, let's say, digital functionality to their digitization activity. Third feature, intelligent quality control. Again, it will, by default, KCP will let you know in case there is any, and over here we are talking just for the use case of sorry, connecting to a third-party scanner. Sometimes the third-party scanner is not a high-end competition, it's any third-party scanner, where we cannot control the image quality coming from the scanner. So in case the image quality, or for example, in case we are using the auto input, which is just reading from a watch folder, ingesting the images and doing the processing. In this case, if we have on the level of the image quality a certain benchmark that tells KCP. If I process it, so if I'm KCP and I receive this image, it's below a certain benchmark. Now, if I accept it and process it, accuracy of extraction will be, practically very bad, less than 70 or 60%. And so it will directly flag it that this image quality, whether for the purpose of archiving or for the purpose of extraction, do you want to accept it, yes or no? It's up for the user to say yes, okay, process, and they will adjust the index fields, or they will request what we call rescanning. So it is from quality perspective, quality control perspective, it was rejected. Please resubmit a better quality image, because this, if it goes to audit or if it goes for later on any supporting activity for the use case, it might be rejected by whoever is looking at that document. So the purpose here is from compliance, from archiving, from extraction perspective, it would be extremely useful for them, especially when we talk about we are digitizing records, not normal paper or normal documents. Record is something that is legally binding, such as a contract, such as an invoice, such as a signed application form. Records are, they need by compliance to have a good image quality. Thus, in many projects, you will, for example, have in the requirement, I need it to be 300 dpi minimum with XYZ. So for the purpose of quality control and extraction and archiving, KCP will provide you the automation by default. And this is, again, something that we can tweak a little bit with the gouge. So we can define the benchmark to be higher or lower, so that higher it will start rejecting a lot, which are coming from third-party scanners. But if you are working with our hardware, then you don't have any problem, because our scanners will do a lot in terms of image quality processing and enhancement before it reaches to KCP. On this slide, any question, any inquiry to go more into details? Okay. Feel free to just interrupt me if there is any. Okay.
Yeah, Joe, I just have a question.
Yeah.
In terms of the formatting of the document, does it preserve the formatting at what level? Is it 100%? There's tables and columns and things like that.
Yes, yes. We never had never had an issue with the formatting. Never.
And file sizes, how does it differ from input and output?
File size in terms of compression?
Yeah, so the file size, input size versus the output size, is it the same or is it different?
But again, we're talking about auto import. So I have a PDF in, PDF out, or I have paper in, PDF out.
Okay,
So, okay, in general, in terms of, so compression, this is a module that we can add, and as well based on the DPI, based on the color, based on the output that we configure, it could be something very around the benchmark of, depending whether it's grayscale, black and white, full color. All of these will make a difference on the size of the file. Now, does it affect extraction, the configuration? No. So, and you will get to see why it does not affect the extraction, the configuration, because export is the last step that we do. So we treat the file all together, and then at export, once we do the extraction and everything, we will tell KCP to save it as, for example, black and white 200 dpi with the metadata. So the metadata was already extracted between the hardware and the software, and on saving, it could be, let's say, not low quality, but the minimum bearable quality without affecting the full OCR or the metadata. So it's extremely dynamic based on the configuration. Compression, if you would like to have compression, of course, we can have, let's say, a compression module afterwards. But while having this flexibility of extracting on the high-res and exporting on any requirement that is coming from the customer, you don't have the need to have any sort of compression, and we do not recommend it. I'll tell you why, because with all the engines I've worked with that do compression, the only compression that is being made is on the image, an image which does not have text, something like this. So they will break the image only. So practically, if I'm doing scanning, if you set it to black and white, the image will not do any harm to the total file size. Again, it's based on the requirement and how do we configure it. But if compression is needed, then yes, we can do that as well.
All right, thank you.
All right. Let me go to the more features that will explain actually how we can. I'm not sure why is this coming anyway. But the main thing that I was explaining comes over here, dual stream simultaneous imaging. And this is why the export or the output could be totally different from the high-res images or high-res quality that are being actually processed. So what does dual stream simultaneous imaging mean? Once we scan, we can get the color, and as well we can get a which is a grayscale or black and white image at the same time. So we can get both. Why do I need this? I need this because it will enhance accuracy. So if there is any what we call noise coming from colors or from other, let's say, color palette other than the black and white, you can drop them while you are doing extraction. And then at the end, you can save it with the full color as scanned PDF with the metadata. So over here, as long as KCP has the capability to split the image into two different formats, one is for extraction, and the other is just for reference or for final export, then you have no option, no problem in terms of managing the accuracy of the extraction, have it color scan or black and white, and you have no problem saving any image quality or any image from the dual streams. So you might save the full color with 600 dpi, or you can save the bitonal with 200 or 300 dpi. And over here, you'll be saving on size. This is the feature over here that I'm mentioning. So this actually, which is the dual stream, will be capable to empower KCP to do higher accuracy, faster processing, and gives the system integrator, the implementer, or the end customer to have that option. Do I want to, while I'm processing things, do I want to save the full color? Do I want to save the bitonal? Do I want to save the grayscale? Plus or minus over here, they have the full option based on the file size and whatever the use case is. If it's for, again, records, they don't need the full color. They just need the correct information with the most accurate visual representation of the document. Otherwise, if they want full color for certain, I don't know, some engineering companies, some for maps, for drawings, for some presentations for a certain customer, then that's fine. They can use the full color, but as well the accuracy of the extraction will not be affected because it will be treated on a different version of the image that is being split inside KCP for that specific purpose. Going back to the left with the intelligent barcode reading, this is available everywhere right now. No need for to explain it further. The only thing that we need to explain it over here is routing the data based on the barcode, which is something similar to the concept of intelligent job select. So based on the barcode, we can as well update or have KCP inside of it select certain configuration for routing the document towards a certain job configuration or towards a certain export location. Advanced indexing, again, data protecting data integrity, database lookup, making sure everything is validated. We can put some scripting inside KCP as well to lower the options that the engine would do for extraction. So this is just digits. This is only alphabetical string, anything that we can put over there to validate. it will be automatically done by Capture Pro. Graphical user interface, I think you already saw it with Dahlia, but this is again something very important to mention. It's not available for other vendors in the market, and hopefully we'll have more enhancement on that with the upcoming 12 to 16 months. This is the main cycle of KCP. With this, I'll be jumping into the demo so in the presentation, you'll have either the live demo that you will be able to work on or several links inside these slides that you click on, and then it will take you to a YouTube video where you will be able to see, for example, splitting on barcode, scanning, onboarding documents, which is over here. And we are showing in this video intelligent exception, intelligent job select. This is very important, and this is just a general marketing video for a Capture Pro. Make sure, because these two are very important and unique selling points for KCP, make sure you click on them and you tell the story of whatever is happening on that thing. It's self-explanatory, but it's always good for you to look at it in advance and to be able to tell the story in front of the end customer. Moving for the versions, what do I have in terms of Capture Pro? What is the difference between these versions? Capture Pro comes by default with our scanners as limited edition. So it has automated indexing, I think okay, sorry, it doesn't have automated. So whenever I need automated indexing and additional barcodes and dual output file type and all of these, I move to the full edition. Limited edition has the basic scanning, no auto import capability, 4 barcode types, a scan and index only, and I think 2 index fields. 2 index fields limitation on that. Whenever I have anything that bypasses these out of the box free features, and by the way, limited edition, it comes with the speed of the scanner. So in terms of speed, that's fine. You don't have any worry. In terms of full OCR, you don't have any worry, and it is unlimited. So these 2 things, you'll have them in the limited edition out of the box for free. Further than this, whenever we start using use cases as quality control, database lookup, auto import, everything that you saw in the previous slides, you will start to examine the need of having the standard, the full version from Kodak Capture Pro. There is a third version of Kodak Capture Pro, which is the network edition that runs on basically as a server environment, and you can connect. So all the desktop application will start communicating between each other. So one could be for scanning, the other could be for validation, verification, and then you do the submission on the server to go for its later destination or the end destination, whether it's an ECM archiving system, updating a third-party database, regardless what it is. When we talk about, let's say, network requirement, or I need these stations to communicate with each other on the level of passing the batches from one station to the other and having more visibility as an overall production line, this is where we start discussing network edition. From commercial perspective, the standard and the network, they both come in perpetual and subscription. Okay.
Sorry, George, just a quick question around the barcode recognition. Have you guys implemented in South Africa with our ID numbers and passport numbers?
I'll have to double check with Dahlia ID numbers and passport numbers in South Africa. Is it a barcode?
The documents also have barcodes and type of.
So in general, if they have it's a type of barcode that is not encrypted, mainly IDs, they might have a certain barcode that is encrypted. But if it's not encrypted and we need to add it, then that's not a problem at all. And even if it's not done, now I need to double check with the team, technical team, but if they have anything in South Africa. But any new barcode, it can simply be added, because barcodes, usually they have a library. and then you import the library into the configuration, and then it will be able to read it and, let's say, read the white spaces between that barcode and give you the information, as long as it's not encrypted. We've came through in Africa, in Egypt, and other countries in Africa for IDs that have encrypted barcodes. These barcodes, you need to have the encryption key or decryption key to be able, and you will be able to read it, but it will create for you unreadable or special characters. So you need the decryption key so to be able to translate it into whatever date of birth, full name, place of birth, everything.
If we send you guys maybe an example as well, you can maybe check for us.
Yes, yes. I'll wait for these samples, please. On the same email thread, or you can just go to the email invite, reply to the team, and you can share with us the samples or send them to Yolanda, and we will receive them accordingly and work on them. And I'll double check as well with the global team if they ever had such an implementation, or definitely I think we received something like this, but I want to have the 100% answer for you guys. Good. Okay, so I'll be waiting for these samples. From, again, going back to the commercial side, differences between the versions. So both of them are available in perpetual, as well as they are available in subscription. Both of them are whatever we mentioned about unlimited OCR, full OCR pages, everything that's same features, same everything. The only difference is in network, you'll have the output server, which needs a license on its own, similar to the main KCP. Now, something different as well over here. KCP and network edition, whichever station is connected to a scanner, it needs to be equal to the speed of the scanner. If you have a KCP working as just looking at the batches validating, it doesn't need to have the high speed. It could be any the cheapest version of KCP, the lowest speed to receive, because it's not processing. It's just looking at the documents, make sure the we show them the rubber. Oh, okay. So making sure to do additional extraction, that's it, and you go further. Another difference from network to standard, in network, licenses are always concurrent, okay? So whenever a seat is empty, another one can log in and work on this license, even if we are talking about device. In standard software or standard KCP, you'll have the licenses per device. Network, it will become everything connected to that server, it will become concurrent, okay? So practically, more scalability in terms of commercial. Once you go bigger, it gets more scalable and it makes more sense in terms of financials. But again, depending on the job requirement and the customer challenges, if they need network, we go with network. If they don't, we continue on standard. Network edition, again, on this level, it would be extremely beneficial whenever we are at network edition to explore whether to transform them into info input or to keep them on the level of KCP. This study will explore their definitive requirement and as well the fleet of scanners that they are connected to, so that we provide them with the most competitive commercials, because info input as well has concurrent users. So our worry over here, it would be to provide them with the best commercially fit and as well answering their requirements. So if they are working on high volume scanners or mid volume scanners, mid speed, considering info input would be viable with basic requirements that fit only KCP. If they are working on a fleet where you have the low volume, very normal scanner, 40 ppm, 60 ppm, then it would be more beneficial for them to stay on KCP. So this is a study that we will conduct together based on the commercials, and we will, once you have the knowledge, you can take the decision on your own, or we can work things together and recommend the best fit for the end customer. All clear on the difference between limited, full version, and network? I would assume it is all good. Mainly, this will get us to the end of KCP in general as training. Yeah, so licenses, I'll go over as well the licenses again. I don't have that slide, but anyway. So the licenses, I went over them last time. Again, per device, concurrent for the network edition. The licenses, it will be on the speed that it will connect to which scanner. So you'll have group A, B, C, D, TX, digital transformation, E, and then up until the fastest scanner coming from Kodak Alaris. This will make sure that you don't have any bottleneck on the processing of the image. Whatever speed you are getting on the scanner, it will be equal on Capture Pro. The more you go in speed, by default, the more expensive it will be, or the more valuable it will become in terms of commercial. Yeah, and we can connect. The same applies to third-party scanner. Of course, when we are talking about same speed, Kodak Alaris third-party scanner license will be a little bit more expensive. We will be discussing a promotion during this year to explain about the promotion and how we might bring equal prices to the market whenever you have an opportunity for that. That's mainly it in general. This just a slide would generally explain in general what would Capture Pro Network Edition be. Everything goes to the server to communicate between all different modules and all different workstations, whether it's an output server, whether it's an auto input, whether it's a workstation. It all comes through the server, and you can take a batch from your workstation, whether it's for indexing, quality check, validation, or it's running in the background for database mapping, writing, or fetching more index fields. That would be all for KCP for the time being. Any question at this specific moment? I'll take it as a no. Do you require demo licenses for KCP to play around with?
Yes, absolutely.
Perfect. I would need the sample documents of the IPs as well the number of demo licenses that you require, and by default, we need to know these licenses to which scanner they will connect, so we can map them together in terms of speed and everything. And after this, we can schedule a call as a technical, let's say, session on KCP to close KCP altogether, including the setup and everything. So I'll definitely need these information from you guys so we can deliver. I just received the documents from Dalia for the full OCR. So full OCR, for example, I click on F and I would like to search for Helen and working on it, and directly it will show you Helen inside the text. So full OCR has different meanings, but in other terms, you can select all the text, copy paste. But more important, you'll be able, again, from within the search, whether inside the PDF or outside, to click on something and it will start taking you wherever you have 160. So Helen 160, 1773, search 1773. And then I think over here I have the dual stream. So yeah, that's another example of the dual stream where we took out all the red color, and I'm saving both version of the image, the one with the colors and the one without. But this is totally configurable for you. You can set it up to save both or just one. And over here again, selecting the text, it means you'll be able to copy paste or you'll be able to search for it step by step. This is one. The second one, I think it's the same. Yeah, it's the same. Again, over here, 162. I have this, I have this. That's it. Let me search for Porter. I have this. Okay, let me search for whatever 7898901. Okay, it highlighted two over here. It highlighted two over here. So yeah, these could be part of the index field, but it could be just the full text which is available on the document itself. It answers the question on how does it look as a full text OCR.
Yes, thank you.
Perfect. Okay. Okay. Thank you guys. I'll be waiting for the samples of the IDE. I'll be waiting for the samples of the number of demo licenses that you would need. That you would need for the purpose of testing. Please mention to which scanners they will connect so we deliver the right license model for you. Let me just stop the recording. Okay.